Welcome to the channel. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. Today I'm checking out a Swiss micro brand that is new to the channel, and I've been given one of the amazingly high-spec watches, the Basilia, to review. Now, Wicked Watch is an actual Swiss micro brand. Based in Switzerland, they make well over the minimum requirements of 60% of parts or assembly required for a watch to be called Swiss, all sourced from within their home country. Now, they've got a few models released, and I have some of the models with me which I will be reviewing in the weeks to come. But something straight away looks very different about these watches. You can see they use a lot of exotic materials. Just glancing at the website, you see phrases like forged carbon, phoenix styles, Musu black, grade 5 titanium, Lume cast, and so on and so forth. And this is what Wicked Watch are all about. Bringing exotic materials and high-end manufacturing techniques used by really well-known and expensive Swiss brands. The brand owner is a complete maniac. I've spoken to him on many occasions, and he is adamant in sourcing his own materials and getting up close with the manufacturing techniques used on cases, dials and hands, and they really want to give the best possible grade of materials for the absolute best prices. But you'll come to learn more as I review the other watches. For now, let's concentrate on this contemporary Swiss sports watch named the Basilia. Now, this watch is a 39mm sports watch with a very thin 10mm depth and a lug-to-lug of just under 47mm. You've got a lug width of 20mm, and this uses a grade 5 titanium case which receives hardening treatment as opposed to hardening coating. The treatment used actually penetrates the material, which brings it up to the 800 HV hardness that this watch is, and it is much more expensive compared to just the hardness coating. You also have a Swiss box style double dome sapphire crystal with AR coating and a water resistance of 100 meters due to the push-pull crown used, and the sapphire screw down case back. So that makes it a sapphire sandwich. I know people love saying that. So the movement running this watch is the Soprod M100 Swiss movement. It's got 25 joules. It's the same as a Celita SW200, but without a date complication. The movement is regulated in-house, and this particular one is running perfectly at 0 with 0 beat error. The movement has also been decorated with the Wicked Watch logo, and you've got some really nice striping, some perlage and some blued screws, and this is a very pretty movement. You also get Swiss made natural rubber FKM straps and a CNC buckle to match. Now, this watch is a limited edition. It's limited to 50 pieces per color, and you've got a few variations available. In the titanium case, you get the green, this white and a black, and you also have a black dial on a black DLC coated titanium case. And then you've got one other special variant, which is a vibrant orange on a Damascus case as well. As I said, these guys are all about using different high-end materials. Now, the starting price for this particular model is 749 Swiss francs, as it's currently on sale, and the retail is around 999 Swiss francs, which is approximately £650 or around $820 on the sale price. Now, I mentioned about how Wicked Watch use high-end manufacturing techniques, one of them being the hardness treatment over the coating. Next is when we take a look at the dial and hands. The geometric dial pattern that you see in the center is created using high precision oil pressing, which gives you great definition and crisp lines. Even the small triangles all have beveled edges. The use of this technique means you get great dial detail and definition, particularly when you want to use patterns and textures. Now, pay attention to the logo just below the 12. It seems to be floating on top of that dial, and it's a very crisp applied logo. Everywhere you look on this dial, you get very crisp, precise detail. You've also got an applied chapter ring with precise printing, and they've used CNC machined indices with rhodium plating. Now, the hands are also exceptionally well detailed. You have sharp bevels on either side, a brushed center to the very sharp points on both the hour and minute hand. The minute hand is partially skeletonized, and the hands are also rhodium plated. Now, one of the benefits of using rhodium is that the materials don't tarnish and you get a nice brightness to the applied material, but you'll notice that they went with the darkened markers and hands for that contrast against that brilliant white dial. They've also added a slither of red on that second hand, which looks good. It just adds that bit of interest on the dial, and the length of that second hand is perfect. Now, the lume. Wicked Watch is all about lume. They use the best grade of actual Swiss Super Luminova available, certified as well. It's known as extra fine grade, which is a grade above X1, and these guys do some amazing things with lume. Not so much on this particular one, but on some of the other models you have lume in every possible place. But with this being a simple sports watch, you have lumed hands and markers with ample layers, giving you a fantastic glow. You also have a nice bit of lume on the buckle, which is quite bright, and it's a very nice detail. Now moving on to the case, there isn't a lot to speak about. I like to see detail and transitions of finishing, but with these titanium cases, it's usually just one type of finishing. This matte texture, which is what you have. Now I can see bevels which go around the side of the case and the lug tips, the facets around those lugs, all nicely machined and crisp defined edges. But it would be nice to see this case in a steel so you can see some of the brushing techniques and the different grains and the different transitions. Now the static bezel is really well proportioned. It's very slim, and it also has a bevel, but it's missing that polished detail because this just isn't that steel watch. Caseback is also titanium, the sapphire exhibition caseback, giving you a window into that beautifully decorated movement we saw earlier. Now the strap, I said it was Swiss FKM. I can tell a very slight difference from the Swiss FKM to the Chinese FKM, although it just may be down to that specific pattern. It's a very fine pattern, the type you find on metal grids, and it's so soft it almost feels like fabric. The only thing with the white strap is that it will get dirty quickly, as the patterns tend to hold on to dirt from your fingers and hands, and it has to be washed to be cleaned. Now the buckle on the strap, which is CNC milled, it does look great. It's definitely a nice detail. It's got some really nice facets around there, and the fact that it is CNC machined means it's already way more expensive than your normal pressed buckles. I think it's a very nice way to finish off the watch, keeping that theme consistent. Now on wrist, it does sit very Swiss, which is quite flat and quite straight. You can see the case doesn't have much curvature to the lugs, but that is the design here. One thing it does have is that shorter lug to lug. Usually Swiss watches are around the 49 or 50 millimeters on the lug to lug. This one comes in way under that, and of course the watch is extremely light with a weight of 63 grams just on the strap, but it does have a nice presence with that 39 millimeter case diameter. And of course the color, the legibility is great and it does stand out. Crisp white dials are always a nice addition to any watch collection. Now I've left the packaging till the end, well, because a lot of people are not interested, but it's worth checking it out. Honestly, it's so well made. It's a full genuine high grade leather watch roll. You've got compartments all over. It's actually like a huge leather wallet. A compartment for the watch and the warranty card just underneath. So let's have a look at that. Wow, check this out. So it's a forged carbon warranty card, giving you 3 years of warranty, and again it's an indication to the obsession Wicked Watch has with high-end materials. And you've also got something else here tucked away. You've got a metal tool. Wow. And that feels fantastic in hand. It's let's have a look at it. It is double-ended, so you've got spring bar removers on one end, and then on the other end you've got a bracelet push pin, and yeah, it does feel good in hand. It's really well made. I like the nailing in the center, and the threading is also very smooth. So with this, when you get the full kit in hand and you look at all the little bits and bobs you get a really good idea of what Wicked Watch are trying to do. They're trying to give us the, really high end finishing, materials, build, all for a really good price when you look at it in comparison to all the other watches. Now you also got a loomed logo applied on the end of this tool. Check that out. I mean, I told you they were lume crazy. So that's it for me today. I would love to hear your thoughts below on this Basilia by Wicked Watch. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next video.